It was a real hit with the Texas fans in 2017, and it's back bigger and better for 2018. Along with Sean Sermony, I'm Matt Nolte, and welcome to the Great American Speedway that is Texas Motor Speedway for races 11 and 12 of the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks on CBS Sports. And Sean, you've had a lot to do with the construction of this unique layout. Tell us what's going on in the man hours to get where we are right now.
It was just day after day after day of myself and the crew from Texas Motor Speedway here, and Cameron, everyone putting this together. And we've got the biggest jump in Stadium Super Truck history. Everything's bigger in Texas, and that includes the hang time. We're over here. It's 150 feet just to get to the sweet spot here. 11 feet tall for the takeoff of the money booter right behind us. Then it gets into some tight sections. The silt comes pulling down off the landing ramp. Things get really slippery. There's a lot going on. And then, of course, we go out onto the main track here, the IndyCar track.
Well, as ever, two tricky races to come up over the next hour here. It's racing with no limits here in Texas.
And here we are on board with Paul the Dude Morris coming down the front stretch. It's back-to-back ramps, only 270 feet in between them. Not a lot of time to collect yourself before you get to ramp number 2. And then you this is basically turn number 1, hard left-hander jumping over the pit wall. Now, you don't need to duck because there's some big hang time, but you're doing the underneath side. Getting in here, it gets a little slick. The silt pulls all over this section too. There is, however, a joker lane. As Paul Morris demonstrates that for us right now. They'll have to do that each driver one time in every segment. We'll have to take that joker lane. Then it pulls you out straight at the money booter. You've got to go a little over 100 feet to get there, but it's 150 to the sweet spot. Heavy on the handbrake, down in the first, hit this jump at an angle. Now we're racing down pit lane. This is the back stretch of the Legends track here at Texas Motor Speedway. Fast section right here, now into a long last sweeping turn that'll bring you to the front stretch. So nice and easy. Paul Morris out here in his practice session. Nice easy up on 3 wheels, sets it down just in time. Boom, Toyo tires, sends you to the checkered flag, and that here is a lap in No Limits, Texas.
It's a fantastic little course. As we take a look at your points coming into this round, it's leveled out between the guys at the top right now. Matt Brabham continues to lead. Ari Leindyke sits behind Gavin Holland right now. He's the big mover and shaker from the previous round in Detroit. Aaron Bambach will start from pole position for this race. Bill Hines joins him on the front row. We welcome Japanese driver E.J. Chiba into the series alongside Cole Potts. Paul Morrison played Hildebrand. Robbie Gordon is back after another Baja campaign. Gavin Holland joins him on the 4th row. Then Leindyke Jr., Hoffman, and Matt Brabham with the orange background once again, your series leader as we get set for round number 11 here at Texas Motor Speedway.
And keep in mind, folks, it's a full inversion. So the fastest from qualifying, they go all the way to the back, and that is Matt Brabham right here to number 83, DeVilbiss livery there. And then we hop on board with Gavin Holland. He won last year. He's looking to be shooting the 6 shooters and wearing the 10-gallon hat at the end of the night here. And then Bill the Thrill Hines, United Fiber and Data, number 57, sitting on the front row. Alongside of him, Aaron Bambach in the number 3. We saw him in Detroit contesting quite well. We're wondering if this different style course is going to make it happen as we're getting ready to turn green flag flying. And we are off and running in race number 1 of 2 here in No Limits.
Great start from the front row. Both those drivers, I speak of Bambach and Hines, not happy with the performances of their trucks in qualifying. Now they get a chance to lead us down into turn number 1, so they've got a good margin already. And as he did in Detroit just last week, the man, Hildebrand, straight into the back at turn number 1. Aaron Bambach leads like he did last week.
Hildebrand starting off early, getting into Morris, giving him a little bit of bump right there. See, out in front, that is Bill Hines. He takes a joker right away. E.J. Chiba, he takes it as well. Each competitor, and we hop on board Matt Brabham, he does it. Each segment, keep in mind, 2 mandatory competition cautions in each race. And each one of those segments, each driver has to take that joker lane 1 time. It doesn't slow them up too much, but it does throw the rhythm of the lap out a little bit. It's
a revised joker lap compared to what we saw last year as we're inside Paul Morris on the run down into the final turn. The tricky left-hander, you need to stay off the grass. You need to leave the cones alone here in this first number race. End of lap number 1, just like that. On board with Cole Potts, number 60. This is the course coming from off-road short track that should be good for him. We've seen him win on some of the big street courses, but there's something I expect a lot out of. Now, Paul Morris, a little bit different. Stadium Super Trucks force him to develop his short course skills with this type of thing. Granted, racing some sprint cars and things, but this is a whole different ball game as we're on board with Blade Hildebrand. Big contact in between Potts and the dude. We're going to see a lot of that this weekend. This is a tight track here. They're going to have to put the elbows up. They're going to have to swap paint to make passes. You're not going to see too many clean ones as they demonstrate right there. Hildebrand getting into Potts. Right next to him, it is Gavin Holland. He got the best seat in the house for that one as they're going 2 wide right here. Very tough. You got to hit this one
in an angle. You don't want to get out there, be disrespectful. You're not going to be on the Texas flag here. So they're real tight racing here, so you're not going to see too many clean passes.
Oh, Hoffman brave on the outside here. Potts drives it right down the middle, protects the line in the HallmarkTrust.com entry. Hoffman tries to switch back, and Hines spun out of contention here at the final turn.
Hines looked like he had a little bit of help there, but I don't think too much. It looked like Hildebrand just doing his thing right here. We're on board with Blade Hildebrand. Hildebrand to the inside. He's good. He's helped a little bit. Racing incident right there. That's not something that Blade caused right there. And Bill Hines, he got the short end of it. As right now, we look at the whole pack. Very tight here. Morris, he takes a joker. Harlan takes a joker. So the majority of the drivers have got the joker under their belt right now. And there you see Hoffman, he goes a little bit wide. Side by side over that jump, like we said, almost 150 feet in distance to get to the sweet spot. As time moves on, more and more silt is going to be pulled down that ramp. They're going to start landing closer to the top of the landing so they can do the majority of their braking as they're still going down on the dirt. When they get to the silt, it's just going to be off the brake pedal a little bit and more on the handbrake to rotate the rear end.
What about the move from these two, Harlan and Hoffman? Harlan almost got the job down there at the second last turn. We're back inside the 55. Race winner at Detroit, his second race win of the season. Looks like he's changed the hula for this weekend's round as well.
I guess so. As the hula girl taking a beating, there is the VP Racing Fuels United 500 data truck of Ari Lyondike Jr. He is flying the VP colors this weekend here in Texas. A little bit of love shown there. Say, come on, Ireland, let's get going. And that also gives opportunity for Brabham, I think, to make a pass on Lyondike Jr. Not quite sure if he can make it stick as we're side by side, 2 rows of 2 going at the money booter.
So across the big money booter into the left-hander, you're looking from Matt Brabham's perspective, the series leader. 4 trucks scrapping this ride out now. Cole Potts chuck him in the back now to be the 5th truck. Down along the fast pit lane section of Texas Motor Speedway. Still 2 competition cautions to come as we work lap number 4, and Aaron Bambach continues to lead.
It's like deja vu all over again as Bambach in segment number 1 way out in the lead, getting quite squirrely off the second ramp there, but we saw in Detroit last week, Bambach earlier on in the race just really putting on a clinic, but as he said last weekend, hey, you're kind of a sitting duck. I know there's a competition caution coming up. I know they're going to be right back on me again. I just got to do my best to get down the best, quickest laps and learn as much as I can right now in this new short course style of racing for him.
Rode into the track with him today from the hotel. I said, how did you go yesterday? He goes, man, I was frustrated. I just don't know how to get this truck to land properly. Even on that previous lap, it landed on the rear bar. The number 3 Strategic Staffing Solutions entry leads still, heading down, but Morris starting to close that gap with a competition caution imminent. Here's that next battle pack coming through, including Harlan, Hoffman, Brabham, Lyondike Jr. in the VP Racing Fuels entry this weekend. We saw him last week in Lear Corporation colours on the charge down to the final turn.
How cool is that group right there? We're talking open wheel champions. We're talking off-road Baja drivers. We're talking short course guys. A little bit of everyone involved right there. And now the comp caution comes out. You saw Morris, he skipped that second race there, second jump there. So we're going to be back here in just a few minutes for the second part of race number 1.
Stadium Super Trucks on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Toyo Tires. We are Toyo, all or nothing. And by KMC Wheels, precision for imprecise environments.
So many new race fans have come along here to Texas Motor Speedway this weekend after seeing the success of 2017. A much bigger crowd is here as we work lap number 7. The first competition caution is done. Aaron Bambach leads from the dude Paul Morris, and Blade Hildebrand runs in 3rd.
Morris goes to the inside of Bambach. I said earlier he skipped the second ramp. That was after the comp caution was out. No problems there, no harm done, no foul. But it did put him in the lead right now as he puts a nice move on Aaron Bambach. So now it is Paul Morris. Bambach on board with Blade Hildebrand. Hildebrand quickly gets his joker lap out of the way. Does he lose a spot from it? He does lose a spot from Harlan, but he's still trying to apply some pressure. Not quite able to do it. We hop on board with the number 83 of Matty Brabham, the DeVilliers truck. Oh, and look at Hoffman says, I'm here to party, as the number 47 jumps in the mix. These short courses with these big jumps, you cannot take anything away from guys like Hoffman and Harlan, man. This is what they do.
How cool was that? It suddenly just appeared from the dust was the 47. That was sensational as now Harlan goes down the inside of Harlan. Hildebrand thinking about the same. We're on top of the Empire Racing Heatwave number 68 heading down to the second ramp. This tricky little left-hander, but it's all about the hard brake. Bits and pieces coming off the front of the DeVilbiss number 83.
So the DeVilbiss get a little bit of trouble there. He got some contact in with somebody, which is no surprise. It's a tight course. You got to be aggressive out here, so we're going to see more of that as the race unfolds. Right now, on board with Brabham. He is behind the Hoff. Brabham takes a joker. Looks like he was a little indecisive if he wanted to take it that lap or not. I'm not sure if the Hoff had got the joker in himself just yet, but we know he's been very aggressive over the jump. You can never count him out. Let's look at 5, 6 trucks at the time in the air right there. So exciting stuff, man, as we're on board with Cole Potts.
Across the top of pit wall, across the Texas flag, and we look back at Ari Leindyke Jr. in the VP Racing Fields number 25. There's your early race leader, Aaron Bumbach, and here's Robbie Gordon. We didn't see him in Detroit. That's pretty normal when he goes off to contest the Baja race, but back in Toyo Tires colours this weekend.
So, big contact right there with Blade Hildebrand and Matt Brabham. Brabham getting into the back of Hildebrand, almost giving Brabham a wild ride. Brabham able to hang on to it. Just a racing incident. No one's fault on that one. That happens here. Here's another replay of it. We're on board with Blade Hildebrand. Two of them side by side. Oh, almost a little piggyback. And Brabham forced to and smart to avoid the second ramp. If you see a little bit of damage to the back of Hildebrand's truck right there.
Hoffman, Brabham, Hildebrand. That's one battle pack we're watching. Further back there, you've got Bumbach with a whole cast of fast guys behind him right now as we work our way into the right-hander onto pit lane with Blade Hildebrand, one of 2 rookies doing the full-time tour in Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks. The other guy is Cole Potts. They're both having standout years.
Absolutely they are. They're so talented. Hildebrand, he just needs a little bit of luck. Potts already got 1 win in Adelaide earlier in the season. Hildebrand, he's got the speed, he's got the ability, he's got the talent. He's a great kid, man, and he's going to be huge in motorsport as years come on here in Stadium Super Trucks, but he just needs a little bit of luck to get that win.
A bit of luck. I think Brabham needs a bit of luck right now because Hoffman has got the widest Stadium Super Truck you'll see here at Texas Motor Speedway. The door opens for a moment. Can't do it down there through the right-hander. So Brabham on the charge. He's up to 4th position after scoring his 4th Fast Time Award of the season. He's looking hungry to win his first ever championship crown as he gets it now at the hooky hairpin.
As Brabham goes to the inside, Hoffman goes a little bit wide there. Brabham gets that spot back. We saw earlier, that's exactly where Hoffman passed the Brab, going after that jump, but lost it there the turn before the jump. Now follows back, so now Brabham, he sets his sights out front here. So looking very, very comfortable. These are the types of tracks where we see the Brabs not usually as comfortable, but boy, he seems good this weekend.
And Morris looking good as well right now. He's your leader from Harlan. Remember these 2 guys last week in Detroit. Double DNF for Paul Morris. If he wants this championship crown back for 2018, the time to go is now. As
we hop on board with Blade Hildebrand, he's got a good look at Hoffman through here. Brabham in front of Hoffman. Hildebrand has been able to see what these 2 guys are doing. I would imagine he's learning from them, figuring out what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, what I can get faster and by watching these 2 guys, and they're definitely slowing each other down by having that battle. Meanwhile, out front, it is the Dude and Harlan looking very, very comfortable here. Paul Morris, as you said, with a championship, 2 DNFs in Detroit, not happy about that. Is it possible mathematically to win the championship? Yeah, it is. But he needs some major, major luck on his side, and some other guys have some bad luck. Right now, I think for the Dude, for Paul Morris, he's just out there. He just needs to win as many races. Let consistency go out the window a little bit. He's got to push right to the end of 2018.
Talk about pushing. Blade Hildebrand's doing the same as out comes the comp caution, the second one, just like that, at the end of lap number 11 here. So Paul Morris, Gavin Holland, and Matt Brabham are your top 3 as we reset the field here with just the final stage of 7 laps. Morris, Harlan, and Hoffman. Potts is 4th, Robbie Gordon in 5th. Final competition caution is done here at Texas Motor Speedway. We're about to go racing for the final few laps in race number 11 of this year's series. And great to see Paul Morris finally having a good run here. Hopefully the monkey is off his back here.
Absolutely. You know, a week ago in Detroit, trouble for him in both races here, but Morris, he's getting these short courses better. He's getting faster and faster, and he's taking the green flag. He's made it through this one in Detroit. He had some trouble there. The Dude, the champ, he is back on it, ready to rock and roll. Right behind him, it's Gavin Harlan. And, oh boy, a lot happening real fast. Right, there's a tight corner.
Are you serious?
Wow. We talked about then the drivers meaning no, don't dive bomb on there unless you think you can get through it quick. And Ari Leindyke Jr. gets in there good. Hoff gets through it. Blade Hildebrand, Aaron Bumbach, he's got his hands full. What a wild restart.
We didn't give the justice that pass deserved from Ari Leindyke. 2 for the price of 1. How's this for a shot? Hold on tight. as the Stadium Super Trucks roar across the top of the dirt cam here at the Money Buddha.
As you see that silt starting to drag out, it's going to be harder and harder to slow down, keep yourself out of that concrete wall right there. Little bit of contact right there between Ari Leyendijk and Hildebrand right there. Just a little Rubbins racing, nothing major. Hildebrand has the inside line. He's able to hold it. Gets a little bit into Leyendijk. Nice, good racing right there. Now we see him coming down the front stretch. Paul Morris, Harlan, Brabham out in front. There's only a couple things that can happen here, and every one of them is exciting.
You know, Harlan almost had that then. Morris made him work for it, but the number one continues to lead in between the Money Buddha. Into the right-hander. Protects the line here from the 55. Morris takes his joker lap. Ditto that with Harlan. And the hood peeling up on the front of the DeVilbiss Hawk Performance number 83 now.
I would have to say that was from earlier on when he landed on the back of Hildebrand. And speaking of Hildebrand, looks like he is out. Not sure exactly what had happened to that vehicle. You can still see on the ground the tire there. So we're looking like we still have all four on, but I don't know exactly what happened, but he's out of the race running 5th.
What a shame. He was really on the charge in that Empire Graphics number 68. Meantime, it's on again at the front. Morris under absolute maximum attack here from Gavin Holland in the closing stages of race number 11.
Oh, this is difficult for Matty Brabham, and he goes 2 wheels, the Joey Chitwood stunt show, up into the wall, does his own fiberglass work. I hear he's doing that moonlighting little fiberglass in the off time. Gets the truck back around Matty Brabs. Boy, these trucks are tough. But not as tough as Matt Brabham. Gets 2 wheels off that ramp.
It's all going to be to no avail. That truck is going to come to an end. I saw the damage to the front left, but how was the reaction from the crowd? If he pulled it off and continued racing, that would be the coolest thing we've seen this year.
And there is Paul Morris looking comfortable. Now we got a good shot of him. That is the dude. That is your 2017 champion. That is the 3-time Bathurst winner. And this is the Paul Morris we know and love out in front, looking smooth and flawless.
He's got himself into a nice rhythm here now. Truck number 1 just pinches the left front of the Toyota tire, swings it back around here, and the competition caution coming out once again.
So the comp caution out again. This is the last and final comp caution of race number here in No Limits, Texas. As here's a replay of Matty Brabs. Oh! Like he's doing a stunt show there. Hood up over his eyes. DeVilbiss, number 83. Couple of barrel rolls there, 4 or 5 at least. And here we are on board. He's like, I can't see, but I'm going to keep on going because that's who I am. That's the type of guy I am. And you look at that. Boom, boom, boom. I think 4 or 5 of them. And right back down in the first gear. Brings it around. And look at this one, Matt Nolte. What a wild ride.
He was lucky there. One, he didn't get speared by the other trucks behind, but he steps out of the 83's first retirement in 28 races. 4 laps to go here in Texas with Morris, Harlan, and Hoffman, your top 3. We're back at Texas Motor Speedway, and a sad sight for the rookie Blade Hildebrand as his Empire Racing number 68 heading back into the paddock. The green flag waves here on lap number 16. That wasn't a competition caution. That was purely to clear up the 2 trucks stranded out there. And now Paul Morris, can he hold on here?
It's going to be a wild one for him. He's got a lot of pressure behind him, but the dude's the dude, man. He can make it happen. But Gavin Harlan's aggressive. As we said, he won here in 2017. He wants the 10-gallon hat on. He wants the 6 shooters in the air, and he's going to do what he needs to do to make it happen. Problem for Gavin Harlan, you got Jeff Hoffman, the Hoff right behind you as well, who's also very fast on these short tracks.
So it's compressed the first 5 here now. Robbie Gordon, who's having a bit of a quiet race by his standards. Again, they clear the Money Buddha. They're getting further into the air than what they've done all race long.
That's exactly it. They're jumping big and big and big and bigger, but they're going to eventually have to slow down. You're starting to see some of them. They're going wide. They're getting in that silt. They're getting pushed almost off into the concrete wall. They don't want to do that. That's going to take a front clip out. You're going to be done for the weekend. As we're on board with Robbie Gordon right now, we haven't seen a whole lot from him, but sometimes that'll happen towards the end of the race. All of a sudden, Robbie Gordon arrives, and he is there now in the mix as we're on board with the number 60, Cole Potts. Cole Potts looking comfortable. He is right behind Hoffman. In front of Hoffman as they battle royale for the lead. That battle's in between Gavin, Harlan, and Paul the Dude Morris.
So he's settled his role here this weekend as Cole Potts. Down into the right-hander we go with Morris, Harlan, Hoffman. Back inside with Cole Potts. The Hallmark Trust.com entry he hadn't taken his hand off the lever for the better part of the last lap.
Yep, just really feathering that. You see these guys, they don't yank on that handbrake. It's real easy. Now look at them. They're starting to land blue groove the landing. A couple of them, the faster guys, starting to land more towards the top a little bit. Aaron Baumbach must have had some trouble somewhere along the way because that's his bonnet, as you would say, Matt Nolte, as everybody ran over that. So somewhere along the way, he had some major contact and lost that. Now to the inside, Gavin Holland to the inside of Paul Morris. What a move. The dude goes wide. Harlan to the inside. He makes it stick. 1 lap to go.
Right when the white flag come out, so Harlan, he waited for his opportunity for many, many laps and now takes the race lead on the final lap here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Man, Harlan is talented, but I did not expect that from the dude. The dude's to the inside. Look at Harlan setting him up. What a smart move that was. He had played off for him. He's like, I'm going to go wide. Morris tried to take sort of the middle of the track there and ended up capitalizing on it by Harlan by making that tricky move stick. We saw him do it in Detroit last week as well.
It's going to be a battle for the minor positions right now as we see trucks going under as the trucks go over the top. What a cool shot that was. We're back inside the number 47 of Jeff Hoffman as his hood starts to lift just a moment. He just lifted the visor up too to take in some fresh air. So we're coming down into the final turn. Well, what a race this has been for Gavin Holland. He won the overall in 2017 and will chalk up victory number 3 of season 2018 in the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks.
And Toyo Tires sends these guys to the checkered flag one more time as Robbie Gordon in the number 7 Toyo Tires truck, he goes into an early express in session. But what a wild race, number 1, as it was last year here in No Limits, Texas. It's a tight course, it's a vicious course, it's an aggressive course, and if you're not vicious and you're not aggressive, you're not going to be on the podium whatsoever here in Texas.
And Gavin Holland ticks all of those boxes and then some. He collects a win from Paul Morris and Jeff Hoffman. A UFD 1-2-3 here at Texas. Matt Brabham, the big story, not finishing this race along with Blade Hildebrand. Let's check in with our winner, Gavin Holland, collecting his 3rd race win of the season.
To be honest, Paul was kind of faster than me in the infield, but he was definitely slowing me down around that pit lane turn and off the front straight jumps. But I don't know, he was doing pretty solid over the crossover and those couple turns right there. So I wasn't being calm, I was just learning from him a little bit, getting faster and faster. And then on the parts that I was faster than him, I took it to my advantage on the last lap and got him. But yeah, it was super fun. I got around all those cars pretty quick, but a couple people were spinning out, blowing corners. But other than that, I made some passes off that weird jump over the K-rail going on the pit lane. A lot of people were kind of bouncing and landing all weird, but I was pretty smooth and just got to run down that inside into the last corner. So that's where I made most of my passes. But other than that, some luck, some speed, and going to go out there and try to do it again in the UFD truck.
And there's our points after 11 rounds of racing. Matty Brabham still up front with 305. Gavin Harlan, he's doing a good job getting some passing points as well. Moving on up, Ari Lyondike Jr., Robbie Gordon, and Jeff Hoffman. Well, let's go down to 2nd place and see what the dude has to say.
No, I just kept doing the same thing, and obviously when he was behind me there, I was really quick through the infield, and I was gapping him, and he saw what I was doing, and basically I taught him a lesson, and he used it against me. Well, I got behind him from 1 lap, and I learned a lot at this crossover section, jumping into pit lane. So he's just basically 2 wheels on the ramp and taking the wall, and that's where he really got a run on me. So I'll put that in the memory bank and try and use that against some of the other guys so I don't tell anyone. I just keep doing my thing. If it's there, it's there. Look, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windscreen, and I've been more the bug this year, so it'll turn around. You watch, it'll turn around.
It's his best result of the season for Paul Morris in race number 1. We're going racing into the night here after the break here at Texas Motor Speedway. The lights of Texas Motor Speedway, a very warm night here as we get set for round number 12 of the Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks. A great crowd on hand to witness round number 12. Blade Hildebrand will start from pole position for the first time in his career. Also, too, for EJ Cheever, and he only his 2nd race gets a shot at the front. Aaron Baumbach and Bill Hines. Matt Brabham this time from 5th position. Robbie Gordon alongside him in 6th. And Cole Potts, Ari Lyondike Jr., Paul Morris, and the rest of the field. Let's take a look at some of these onboards, including race number 1 winner, Gavin Holland.
Gavin Holland right there next to him. Ari Lyondike Jr., the number 25. He's racing the VP Fuels Racing and Lubricants truck here. And Matty Brabham had some trouble earlier in race number 1, but he is back for a vengeance in race number 2. and Blade Hildebrand in the number 68 Empire Destructive Racing Vehicle. And these guys are pumped. It's nighttime racing. Almost 40,000 people have showed up for race number 2. Green flag flies here in No Limits, Texas.
The atmosphere is incredible as this field gets away to the roar of this Texas crowd, and Blade Hildebrand will lead us down to turn number 1. The Nakata Coatings entry of debutant EJ Chiba runs in second. Aaron Bumbach is now in third position as we filter our way to the infield section under lights here at TMS.
Now I'm curious what's going to be different. It was well over 100 degrees for race number 1 out here with the sun just beating on it. Now the back section, as you can see right now, is a little bit darker. The Joker is larger. Look at EJ Chiba. He's doing it as well. So is Jeff Hoffman. Bigger, deeper Joker. That's going to change things up. And then, of course, now like I said, the sun has set. Not really any dew sitting down on the track yet, but things are definitely changing. It's a different race course than we saw earlier. And I also need to mention that Paul Morris in the back of the number 1 coming up way short on the big money booter there in lap number 1.
So Robbie Gordon on top of the Toyo tyres, KMC wheels number 7 down the inside of that VP Racing Fuels entry of Ari Leindyke. Going back to my point with Matt Brabham, they've repaired that truck, but he started from 5th position. He's going to be ominous in this race.
Absolutely. For Matt Brabham to be starting mid-pack, that's not normal. He's usually towards the back. The only thing is, and we've actually heard this from Gavin Holland and other drivers, starting mid-pack can be difficult because you got to watch what's going on in front of you and behind you. Who's making a mistake? Who's going to suck you into a problem? Like that could have happened right there. Hines getting on the binders a little bit early, and Gordon going so fast right there could have easily got collected in an accident right there. So you're starting mid-pack, you got stuff going on 365 degrees around you, 360 degrees. But if you're starting near the rear, these guys, they can watch it all unfold and make their move. So there's no easy way around it. They all got their work cut out for them.
Battle of the Green Machines heading off the money booter right there. It was Cole Potts and Blade Hildebrand who went wide. So it's Aaron Bumbach in the background of that shot. There's 3 trucks that look very similar out there right now. He falls into the clutches of Bill Hines, as here is Blade Hildebrand out in front and doing a fine job. But a long margin now back to Matt Brabham.
Look at this, lap 3 of 18. Blade Hildebrand, we've been talking about him race after race. He is putting on an absolute clinic. I've said 1,000 times he has the speed and the ability, the talent to win. Look at him right now, man, just making it happen, having some bad luck, some form of mechanical failure earlier on in race number 1. That's fixed. Truck's running great. We don't know exactly what had happened there, but what I do know is that he is putting it to the rest of the field right now.
Whatever they've done to the truck in the lead-up to this race, it's worked because he's got a great margin to Matt Brabham. There is the VP Racing Fuels entry, Leindyke Jr., Potts and Gordon coming through, and Aaron Bumbach at the Strategic Staffing Solutions, number 3. Gee, I'd love to see Aaron come and do a lot more racing with us. He's a talent.
I know he absolutely does. He's hoping to come down. He's really wanting to do Surfers Paradise in Australia as well, so hopefully he'll be able to make that happen. I've been talking all day long about the silt at the end of that jump. We saw Aaron Bumbach land on the right side of the jump where it's really silty, almost like I wouldn't say a berm. He went wide. We just saw Bill Hines do the same thing. He almost got into the wall right now. You got to land to the middle, to the left of that jump and get on the handbrake early or you're going to have trouble.
It's like marbles or ball bearings at the end of the ramp, and so they come to complete another lap. 18 laps is the duration here with 2 competition cautions to join us during this race. This amazing but very vocal crowd here at Texas Motor Speedway. Some came last year, some are here for the first time, and man, they've been very receptive to this series being here in their homeland.
Exciting to see how many people on our way up here to the commentary box, how many people were just coming in that were not here earlier today just to see this racing, this form of racing. So you saw the SST trucks and the speed shirts and the hats, and the people coming in by the droves to get here just for this race number 2. So exciting stuff as we see almost 5 trucks at the same time in the air right there, and that's what I'm talking about. Perfect example. Bumbach, he goes wide because of the silt. Morris, he goes wide from the silt. So these guys are having a little bit of trouble. The track has undoubtedly changed from race number 1.
There's cones and debris all over the circuit there coming back onto pit lane. This is what they're not meant to look like heading down into the final turn, but it keeps the engines nice and cool as they come off the final turn to complete another lap here at Texas Motor Speedway. Blade Hildebrand looking strong here. He's not even in this shot.
Not even in the shot at all. Blade is so far out in front right now, just putting it to the rest of the competition. As you see, going almost 3 wide right there. Hoffman, he goes to the inside, squeaks Baumbach off right there, made a pass. Baumbach's not going to be happy with it, but there was nothing illegal about that one. Good aggressive pass in there, and there's Blade Hildebrand in the number 68 as we hop on board with him right now. Just smooth and calm. Look at him. He could be drinking a macchiato right now. He's so calm and mellow in the cab of that truck.
Even had time to take the hand off the lever and just relax and have a look at the crowd that's watching him on right now. He's been a real hit with the fans, young and old, male and female this weekend. The queue for his autograph was enormous in the lead up to race number 1 today. As the competition caution comes out at the end of lap number 5. We're chasing Robbie Gordon with Ari Leindyke inside. So that's the first part out the way, and now Blade Hildebrand suddenly has no lead at all.
Well, that's the thing, and we've talked about it earlier. Baumbach said in the past, he said in Detroit as well, hey, this is one of the toughest things. You lead on and lead and lead and lead, but then you know the comp caution's coming up and everyone's going to be right behind you.
So Hildebrand has the lead right now from Matt Brabham, Robbie Gordon, Ari Leindyke Jr. and Cole Potts. Who's going to lead the second segment? Come back and join us soon. Getting set for the final restart here at Texas Motor Speedway with Blade Hildebrand leading the way from Matt Brabham. Robbie Gordon is now third, and Ari Leindyke Jr. runs in 4th position. Here's the green flag.
We're off and running. I talked a lot about Blade Hildebrand. He's been on the gas. He's been putting on a clinic, but now it's time to see if he's got what it takes right here with right behind him with Matt Brown behind him. Ari Leindyke, second time we saw him make an awesome pass right there. He did it on Robbie Gordon. Making that type of pass is one thing. Do it on the Toyo Tires number 7 driver, Robbie Gordon. That's the whole other ballgame.
His truck was like a pinball then, the way Gordon just punched him through the air across that first ramp. Down into the hook turn, the hairpin that brings us up towards the money booter. Now Blade Hildebrand will have to work for every single turn in this race.
You see these guys, most of them looking now, they're coming up a little bit short there, landing under control, getting over that nice and smooth. Hildebrand out in front, Brabham P2. Right behind him is Ari Leindyke Jr. P3. We've seen a good battle between those two drivers in the last couple of weeks, and between Brabham and Leindyke Jr. there. Some cones flying, or as you call them in Australia, witches hats, up in the air. Is now up on 3 wheels. Another lap into the record books. Blade Hildebrand looking like a rock star.
Right down the middle. Oh, and it's a tyre gone on Leindyke Jr. When it landed, see the big puff of air from the 25. How's he going to pull this up? It's stranded, and he limps across the ramp. Down at turn number 1.
I thought that something might happen because the infield aluminum ramp going back onto the asphalt right there, he hit it real sideways. It may have weakened the sidewall of that tire because these tires are tough as can be right here. So I don't think the problem was right there. The problem started earlier on with the side part of that aluminum cutting into the sidewall, and then of course something has to give when you're landing with that type of force. But Ari Leindyke having a great run, but his hopes are over and done with as we're on board right now with Robbie Gordon. We see it again. Ari Leindyke sideways, landed sideways. Something had to give. I think that tire was weakened earlier on. And here's another one on board with Ari Leindyke, and he hangs on all kinds of squirrely, and then he's like, oh man, I'm done. I'm out.
But well driven to get this truck through this turn and out of harm's way because they're all queuing up to get past the number 25 VP Racing Fuels entry, but his night in Texas is done.
When you go full lock to the right, full lock to the left, 9 times out of 10, it's over with for you as there he pulls it off. So bad news for Ari Leindyke Jr. Good news for Blade Hildebrand. He is out in front. The number 68 looking good. Matty Brown with number 83 behind him makes an easy pass. That has to happen. Everyone has to take that mandatory joker lap each time, one segment. So that had to happen right there. I don't know if Blade has taken that yet, but right now that puts Matty Brabham out in front. Hildebrand in P2, Hoffman in P3 looking really comfortable. And there is number 7 Toyo Tires driver of Robbie Gordon with Gavin Holland, the number 55 United Fiber and Data truck right behind him. So we got some high-speed drivers out in front right now.
Big speeds on the run down to the final turn. So Brabham now has to put a big margin here before he takes his joker lap. Look at those brakes getting a workout around here. They're glowing red in these warm skies in Texas here tonight. Hildebrand runs in second now with Hoffman, then Gordon and Harlan behind them as we work lap number 10.
How cool is that with those Hawk Performance brakes? You don't see that a lot because we're racing in the daytime. This is the only time we race at night, and you see just the pressure these things are taking. These are the same brake pads that are run at the Dakar truck, same brake pads they run at the Baja 1000 and the 500, all of that now right here. And man, they take a beating, and to take those DOT tires, they're big tires, same Toyo tires you run at your truck at home, and slow these trucks down. Hawk Performance, man, that's why they are #1 in the braking industry, and they're on every one of these trucks right here. As we see, Blade Hildebrand, he almost had an opportunity to make the pass back to the lead as Brabham took the joke lap, but wasn't quite enough, and Brabham stays out in front.
So it all resets now back to how it should be. Here's Harlan on the outside of Gordon, who's got everything locked up in the Toyo tyres, #7. His brake disc starting to glow now as they clear the ramp. So Brabham's done his joker lap in this race and starts to put a little bit of a margin now back to the fluoro yellow #68 of Hildebrand.
Something outrageous is going to have to happen for Brabham not to stay where he is right now. Not a ton of racing left, about 7 laps or so, about 6.5 laps to go, but Brabham out in front. Granted, this is not really the type of course that he usually shines on, but that has been proven differently this weekend and being fast qualifier and now running out front the way he is. He has found a whole new rhythm in these shorter courses, and man, does it show right now as it is Brabham, Hildebrand, Gordon, and Harlan. That is your top 4 in race #2 thus far. We're only about 11 laps out of 18 in right now.
So Hoffman puts himself now back into the clutches of Morris and Potts. Bill Hines still runs behind this group, and Aaron Bumbach running in 9th position. Tough break for EJ Chiba. We didn't see his truck retire, but the Carter Coatings entry is out of the race, and hopefully we'll see the little man from Japan back behind the wheel of one of these Stadium Super Trucks soon. It's out again, comes the yellows. And this is the guy they'll be chasing when we come back to Texas Motor Speedway very soon. Matt Brabham has a small lead, but that's 0 with Hildebrand and Gordon in 3rd.
Stadium Super Trucks on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Speed Energy. Fuel the need for speed. And by United Fiber and Data, ingenuity in infrastructure.
Well, once again, we've enjoyed our time here at Texas Motor Speedway in front of this massive crowd, and Matt Brabham just has a handful of laps now between himself and another race victory after a DNF in race #1. He leads this field back to the final restart.
Right behind him in P2, it is Blade Hildebrand and Robbie Gordon, but the one man that is racing for an overall championship right now and has a good chance of doing it is, oh, whoa, big contact right there. Big contact with a Hoffman. I'm not sure who else it was. We may look back at it again. I think it was Paul Morris. And there is Jeff Hoffman pushed off the side of the ramp. And we're going to get an opportunity to go back and look at it one more time here momentarily. Meanwhile, out in front, Matty Brabham, Hildebrand, and Gavin Harlan. Gavin Harlan was able to capitalize on that incident with Hoffman. He's the one hoping for an overall right now. Matty Brabham would need something outrageous to win the overall, but he's hoping for this race win. And let's see what happened here. Let's go back several spots. There's Hoffman, Paul Morris. 2 of them got into one another. That barrier's there to hold that ramp from sliding out of the way. So Hoffman and Morris, you're on board with Hoffman. He gets a little bump right there. So you can see he gets pushed off a little bit. So that's going to be something that race control is going to have to take a look at and see exactly what happened there. But that was a bit of an incident. Was it a racing incident? Was it too aggressive? Too hard to tell from our point of view here. But what I do know is we still got a lot of great racing ahead.
A busy time coming up for Jason Smith from USAC at the end of this race as we jump inside the VP Racing Fuels #25 of Ari Leindyke Jr. clearing the money booter. That's Cole Potts ahead as they come across to start the back section of the circuit here on lap number 14.
So you see Ari Leindyke, he is hot on the tail right now, the number 60 of Cole Potts. And so Cole Potts looking good. Meanwhile, out front, Matty Brabham all on his own. Gavin Harlan, does he have what it takes to catch Matty Brabham? I think he very well may. He was our overall winner here in 2017. He's been running well here all weekend long. We're back on board with Blade Hildebrand. Hildebrand going back several positions as he puts his sights on the number 7 Toyo tire driver of Robbie Gordon. So Hildebrand leading the majority of the race, showing the incredible speed and talent that he has, but now has had to been forced to be dropped back several positions.
So Harlan does his joker lap through the infield section, same too with Morris, and Harlan's going to get Gordon just like that. around the hairpin, across the top of the money booter we go again. So he's now jammed in between two big stars in Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks, but they can learn a lot from Robbie Gordon here.
Absolutely they can. This is time where you get out the pen, the piece of paper, take a few notes, not too many because you don't have a lot of laps to go here. We're going into lap 16 of 18 right now. Matty Brabham just taking everyone to school right now, just putting it to him. Gavin Holland, he's in P2. Harlan just needs to hang on right here. If things just finish the way they are, he's going to be your champion here in No Limits, Texas. He's just got to hang on to that P2 spot. He's golden.
Just giving Robbie Gordon a bit of a touch up there on the second landing there was Hildebrand. But look at the margin. He's done his Joker lap 2 and still has gaps to burn in this race. Does Matt Brabham. There's more contact now between Morris and Hildebrand. The dude is pumped up in the final race.
The dude's wound up. He says, I no longer want to be the bug or the windshield. I just want to be a winner of some races here, man. I've been having a struggle with 2018. Just want to get on the gas and make it happen. As we're back on board with Blade Hildebrand, he's gone back the wrong direction. Not going to be happy with his finish here as he's done so well earlier on in the race as he's got his sights set on the VP Racing Fuel and Lubricants driver of Ari Lyondike Jr.
So there's the leader to the left-hand side. Here he is, Matt Brabham. A lot of fans here in Texas cheering on the DeVilbiss Hawk Performance number 83. Harlan running in second position right now and looking on target here maybe to take the overall for the weekend. Gordon drops back behind his Cole Potts as we ride down into the bottom turn with a HallmarkTrust.com entry.
So Potts nice and smooth through that section. He's eyeballing the dude right now. Potts looking good. He's an off-road driver, so he's shown that he can race well on the street circuits. He's shown he can race well on these smaller tartar circuits as well. He just needs a little bit of luck to come together, which has not happened for him in the last couple of weeks here. So Cole Potts got his sights set on the leaders. Not going to be enough time to move that far up, but maybe grab another spot or two.
I love the way Cole Potts, he just thinks. He thinks about the racing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. He really wants to make a big impression in this first year in Speed Energy Stadium Super Trucks. He's chasing the guy, still hoping to hold on to his crown, but this guy wants it, and he's got the white flag just ahead of him. 1 lap to go for Matt Brabham.
Look at Toyo Tires sending Brabham's flying through the checkered flag here. 1 lap left to go. The number 83 DeVilbiss Headstrong Hawk Performance driver looking really, really good. Preston Rentals as well involved with his campaign here for 2018. There's Gavin Holland, 2017 Texas champ, and he looks like he may, I don't want to jinx him, have the overall wrapped up here for 2018 as well.
It's fitting the 2 series leaders are 1 and 2 in this race, heading down off the money booter for the final time. He's been clean and precise for the entire race here as Matt Brabham on his way down the back straight. The DeVilbiss and Hawk Performance supporting the number 83 as they did in season 2017. 1 turn remaining now for Matt Brabham, and this will be victory number 3 of season 2018. Give it to Matt Brabham here in Texas.
Look how calm and cool he is, Nick. Texas Motor Speedway making some noise. The hands are in the air. That is race number 2 here in No Limits, Texas. Wild ride as it is every year here for Stadium Super Trucks.
What a season it's been. His 3rd victory of the series, his 7th top 3 result, and his first win here at Texas to Matt Brabham continues to extend that championship lead. Gavin Holland 2nd, Robbie Gordon 3rd, back to Morris, Potts, Hildebrand, Aaron Bumbach, Jeff Hoffman, and Bill Hines. What about this guy, Matt Brabham, collecting the win in race number 2?
It's just a crazy race out there, but obviously the first race rolling down the straight wasn't what I was planning to do, but that's what happened. I just had the hood come up, couldn't see, and that obviously affected the overall for me, but I just wanted to go out in that last race and kill it because I had such great support out here with all the Chris Carl guys, the foundation, and obviously Preston Reynolds here, and this truck. I mean, the truck was awesome. DeVilbiss, they gave me really good equipment out there, and the Stadium Super Trucks crew guys, they got my truck ready for that last race. I mean, they really slaved it here in the heat, and the truck was perfect the whole race. So thank you so much to all the supporters, all the fans that stuck out here, and it was just, so good to get that win in the end. I was hungry for it.
All right, and after 12 rounds here in 2018, Matty Brabham in the lead, Gavin Holland in 2nd place. We're going to give an opportunity to go down with our Texas champ right now. Check out what he had to say.
I could not be more stoked. Today, got the win and got a 2nd, got the overall. Couldn't be happier. First race, I mean, it was a lot easier than this one. I got out there, got behind Paul pretty early, learned his moves, passed him. Tonight, started all the way in the back, and this is a really tight, small track. It was really hard to get through the pack, but I kind of used that long jogger to my advantage, picked it at the right times when I had a gap and when I knew I would be able to come out and still be in front of the person behind me. Came out and Robbie got into me a little bit. We got a little rowdy, but I stayed in front of him, held my position, and then got out there in front and finished behind Matty, but I couldn't be more stoked.
Congratulations to Gavin Holland collecting the round win in front of this huge crowd at Texas Motor Speedway. Hey, Road America, we're coming towards you. Head to StadiumSuperTrucks.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. For Sean Sermony and our entire team, we'll see you in Wisconsin.